alternate. Kevin Hughes on the initial hit.
And Holmes gets the ball up close to the 45-yard line and knows the ball just shy of the Tiger 45-yard line.
On the play. He's up 3rd and 4, close to the 50-yard line.
Minute and a half into the ball game, and the Lancers quickly with a big play here. 3rd and a long 4 from the Tiger 45-yard line. They send Ernest Gracie, number 1, and also Jeff Carolian split out wide to the left side. Out of the pro set, the pitch is fumbled, and Cooper on the tackle is close to the recovery. I believe the Tigers may have got it.
Nope.
Nope, it was recovered by, I believe, the quarterback. Jeff Kromenhoek, I believe, was over there to recover it as Cooper made a nice defensive play. The fumble was by Matt Holmes, the fullback. And right off the bat, the Tigers make a break for themselves, and the Lancers are forced to punt. John Wiesbrock will fair catch the ball at the 22-yard line, where the Tigers will take over 1st and 10.
Madison, the hand Tigers takes over the 1st down in their own territory.
Offensively for the Tigers, they're going to use much of what we saw last week against Brantford. Dave Green will be the center, the guards, Millard and Shaler. The tackles, Pegnataro and Hughes. Newcomb, the tight end. Wiesbrock, the flanker. Peter Noprio, the split ends. McNessie is the fullback. And Brian Kelly is the tailback. And we expect to see Dan Zaneski also tonight at the split end position as he is back recovered from a thigh injury. Tigers on 1st down. Wiesbrock in motion right to left. Flag on the play as McNessie finds a big hole. Gets up close to a 1st down. But I believe it'll come back, Steve.
I think they might get John Wiesbrock for turning upfield a little too quickly. He was the man in motion from left to right, and the flag did come from that side where he was running to, and he might have turned up a little quickly. It is against Dan.
As I mentioned, Steve, along with seeing Zaneski get a little bit of split end tonight, he will be back to punt the ball, and also will be returning punts, which will be an added bonus for the Tigers. And there is a possibility that we will see tailback Stu Leck tonight. There is a slim possibility we may see him.
I think the way the game goes will dictate that. If they need him, they'll put him in there.
Penalty did in fact go against the Tigers, so it'll be 1st and 15. And the pitch goes to Kelly, has a little trouble handling it. Manages to get out over the 20 to about the 22-yard line and very close to the original line of scrimmage. And that'll bring up 2nd down and 10.
On the defense for the Lancers tonight up front, the nose guard is Brian Wright. Tackles are Rob Straub and Tom Bucci. The defensive ends for Notre Dame are Rich Ambrose and Scott Ward. Do the rest of the D after this play.
2nd down, 10. The Tigers have Dan Zaneski split out to the left. And Hevesy looks for him right off the bat. Zaneski has it. Still on his feet. He gets up close to the 35. That'll be plenty for the 1st down. And the Tigers move the ball in the air. As Coach Young mentioned to us that with Zaneski back, they expect to throw the ball a bit more tonight.
Defensive backfield of the Lancers gave Zaneski quite a push in that time, at least 10 yards, and all he had to do was run down a little bit and do a little quick hook at him, and he was wide open. The backers for the Lancers are Joe Cristino, Rich Walker, the defensive backfield, McCarthy, Martinez, Carolian, and Papanicolaou.
And on 1st and 10, the Tigers send Zaneski split out wide to the right. It goes left to Kelly behind the blocking of Hughes. And up to about the 40-yard line is Kelly, and Straub on the tackle for the Lancers.
So far, and I don't know if you've seen Notre Dame before, Chris, but I haven't, but they look very quick up front. The front line is stringing out the running plays very quickly, very well, and may be in for a longer night than they expected.
Give Brian Kelly 4 yards on that. 4 minutes into the game, the Tigers with a 2nd and 6. Hevesy sprinting out to the right, looking for Zaneski, and just leaning out of his hands. The pass was maybe a bit high, but perhaps Zaneski could have come down.
It certainly looks like they're trying to break Zaneski back in awfully quickly. He's already caught one pass. That one, if he had held on, would have been exactly enough for a 1st down. A good pattern run. He got exactly the yardage he needed. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to come down with the ball.
Last week, the Tigers ran that sort of play in reverse. They were running it down, out, and down a lot. They got the cornerbacks to play soft, and then they would come underneath. So expect tonight to see just the
run away for another 10 yards.
Ball is spotted at the Lancer, 47-yard line. Tigers inbound with Tedeschi to the left. And he's going to come in motion right to left as the Tigers move from west to east. Hevesy sprinting out left, he's pressured, and finally forced out of bounds by Richie Ambrose, number 53. Some of the quickness right there, as you mentioned, the Lancers may not be overly big, they certainly are quick.
And the reason that play didn't work, although Hevesy had all the time in the world, is because two Lancer defensive backs covered three hand receivers very well. I don't know how they did that, but they managed to do it.
Ambrose did his job at right defensive end, not letting the Tigers turn it up. And once again, it's Ambrose on the back, knocking for Kelly. Picks up about 7 yards, and there's a flag on the play. Kelly advanced the ball inside the 45 to the 43.
Ambrose on the play.
Personal foul of some sort, tripping. They'll move that one back.
Has a gain of 8 on that play.
A couple of penalties already for the Tigers. That's not quite like them.
Uncharacteristic, as they played a pretty much penalty-free game last week, and that was probably a deciding factor in the win. That and the fact that Brantford turned the ball over about 5 times. But always a well-coached team, the Tigers. They never do much to hurt themselves.
Personal foul against Hand. The ball is spotted at the Hand 42-yard line. It's 2nd and 22 for a first down for Hand.
Comes all the way back, Steve, to the 42, and it'll bring up 2nd down and 22. Tigers need to advance the ball to the 37. Hevesy looks long, has Newcomb, and overthrows him, and it's picked off. And McCarthy's knee, I believe, was down at the 7.
It does go, though. It is an interception. He caught it on one knee, but the ball was tipped out in front, I think, by one of the linebackers, maybe Walker. It wasn't a very good pass thrown by Hevesy. It sort of waddled out there. It was really a dying quail waiting to be caught by someone.
Intended for Newcomb, who had dragged across the middle, I believe. The Lancers get a break as the Tigers are moving the ball nicely.
There's 3 Tiger mistakes already, 2 penalties, and now the interception.
Yeah, 1st and 10 from their own 37. They come out with a pro set. Looking to pass the ball for the first time. They're looking long, but it'll be caught and inbounds.
Wow.
At the 33-yard line, and that was Ernest Gracie, who we decided after watching the play before the game had quite a lot of speed. And believe me when I say, when the quarterback, Romanok, let the ball go, I didn't think there was any way Gracie could catch up with it.
Neither did I. He was a good 15 yards behind the ball. He just outran it.
And he has blazing speed and a big play right off of the Lancers halfway through the first quarter. And it's Lisa. He gets the ball inside the 30 to the 29. Pickup of about 3 yards on the play. Oh, it's 2nd down and 7.
I think you said that Gracie had a fast name. Sending him out wide left this time with Papa Nicolau. A couple of small, fast guys out there.
Gracie is in the slot. Papa Nicolau is split out to the left. Give goes to the right. And that's the fullback Holmes. And he's forced out of bounds as Vince Hughes, McIntyre, and Millard all over there on the stop. And it's back at the 30-yard line. So it'll be a loss of 1 on the play, and it'll bring up 3rd down and 8.
Good play by Hughes primarily. He fought off a block by the fullback, Matt Holmes, just shoved him aside with one arm and was able to make the tackle. 3rd and 7, a passing situation for what we thought was not a passing team, but who knows after that long gainer a while ago.
You should mention Kevin Hughes mentioned as one of the top 10 or 15 players in the state to watch this year as seniors on the high school scene. And Gracie this time should have had it. Off the shoulder pads, would not have been enough for a first down, although he may have been able to run. But
that's what he was thinking about. He was thinking about the move he was going to make after he caught the ball.
So now sort of an interesting call right off the bat for Notre Dame, as they have 4th down about 8, but they're at the 30-yard line. They don't stand to pick up too much punting unless they can get the ball angled out. So it appears that they're going to go for it.
Sure.
They'll send Papa Nikolai split out wide to the left, Gracie to the right side, and flags are down. Possible they may have taken too much time, Steve.
Either that or somebody moved a little too early. Well, it's going to be against, might be against hand. Let's see. Offside. Well, that'll bring it up to 4th and 2, and that changes things. Not such an obvious passing down anymore.
Brings up
Something
a
you
4th
do not want to do.
That's the 3rd penalty for the Tigers
25-yard
in the first quarter. Very unlike them.
The offsides against the Tigers moves the ball down close to the 25-yard line, and it'll be 4th down and a long 2. Like a lineman there, Refrigerator Perry in the backfield, number 70, as the quarterback, Roman Hawk, gets up very close to a first down, and I believe he has it according to where they've spotted it. In the backfield on that play was the starting nose guard on defense, Brian Wright, who lined up in the power I right formation and led the blocking.
Referee signal for measurement on the play for first down.
Appears to have the first down.
I don't know.
If the chains are spotted correctly.
I don't know if he got it. I don't think so. I don't think so.
Big play here. The Lancers looking to keep their drive alive after the interception.
And he got it.
And yes, sir, they have it by better than
Carey was good for a first down for the Notre Dame Lancers.
Wasn't even that close. They're certainly putting together a nice drive here. They're getting some help from the Tigers in the form of a couple of penalties. But the more this goes on, the more confidence the Lancers are going to get.
Nikolai and Gracie once again to the left side. The pitch goes to Delisa. Tries to turn the corner and will. Gets down inside the 15. Hurdles 2 tacklers. Finally taken down at the 8-yard line.
Well, he looked like Gary Anderson on that one in San Diego, huh? Nice job by Delisa to get around a couple of hand defenders right up to the point of attack. First and goal.
First and goal from the 8-yard line.
First and 10 for the Lancers.
Well, they're doing exactly what their coach, John Savatic, wanted to do. Very basic. The only flashy type of play they've done so far is that 30-yard pass on the sideline. But besides that, it's been a combination of good running and some penalties by the hand defense.
Out of the eye, it goes to fullback. I think it was Delisa at the fullback position, and he got down inside the 5, down close to the 2-yard line, so he'll pick up a 6 on the dime.
Nice surge by the Notre Dame offensive line that time. They knocked the hand defenders back a good 3 or 4 yards right off the snap.
And Dave Guzio, number 64, checks into the ball game for the Tigers. Joey Rubler on the goal line situation comes out. And out of the eye, they'll go with Delisa, and he is stacked up. And the original hit made by Guzio just into the ball game, number 64.
Very predictable play that time. It's going to be tough for them to get it in now because they've got 2 plays now to go 2 yards, but the hand defense is always very tough down by the goal line.
3rd down goal from the 2.
Good time here for a fake plunge and then a short type of pass or something, play action variety.
Once again, they come out with a power line to the right, and they put Wright in the backfield. They give it to number 20. That's Matt Holmes, as the Lancers have been switching things around. Holmes originally listed as the fullback, now running from the tailback position. Delisa has been running quite a bit from the fullback position. He was listed as the tailback, as they've mixed things up a bit.
Ball spotted at the 1-yard line, bringing up 4th and goal.
Will be a timeout on the field. 2:46 to go. First quarter, 4th down and 1 when we come back here on Madison Community Television. 4th down and 1 coming up for the Lancers. Steve, after watching Delisa hurdle a couple of hand tacklers, I would have to think he would be the man and go over the top.
I don't know if they'll go over the top. They've since they got down to the 2, they've tried straight ahead. That got nowhere. They tried off tackle. That got 1 yard. I think now the only thing they've got left is to try something wide, probably to the right side.
Well, let's see what they do here. Once again, they have right. They're in a power eye left. Fullback is Delisa. Tailback is Holmes. Holmes, and appears that he had got in. But then referee says no. Tigers still in goal at about the 1-inch line.
You can't get any closer than that and not get in.
And I can't wait, as Julie Balaga would say, to see the replay of that one, because it appeared that Holmes had got the ball over the line.
It looked like he was about to break the plane, but I don't know who made the stop for hand, but whoever it was, awfully strong tackle.
Well, let's credit the hand defense. They do what they've been known to do over the last few years, and that's get very tough inside their own 20. And on a first down, the Tigers work the left side of the defensive line, their offensive right side. They get the ball out for a very short game, maybe another couple of inches. So, once again, second down and 10.
Could be a big emotional lift for the hand Tigers. It also could be quite a setback for the Lancers if they allow it to set them back emotionally. Hevesy once again on the quick dive.
He'll get a yard this time. It'll bring up a third down, 9 situation.
They're really showing me something here. Ordinarily, if your offense takes it down there and fails on 3 cracks from the 2-yard line, the whole team tends to shrink a little bit and say, we blew it. This Notre Dame defense is sticking it to them so far. Ham's got 1 more crack at it, but they're showing me something right now.
And Zaneski checks in for Notre, so if they're going to pass, look for Zaneski. He's on the right side, but they'll pitch to Kelly. They'll play it safe. Kelly will get up to the 5, and Zaneski will stay on the field and be booting the ball from his own end zone on 4th down with 1:06 to go here in the first quarter. No score between Notre Dame and Fairfield and the Hand Tigers.
Notre Dame stands to get some fairly decent field position out of this, as Zaneski will be punting from his own end zone.
Rolian,
I'm sorry.
Holmes, and Tracy, the speedster, 3 deep in.
Actually, they got an Ofrio punting.
And now an Ofrio. And Coach Gianni told us that Zaneski would be in, but an Ofrio nonetheless hits a beauty to the 42, but the speedster Tracy, and he is hit hard by Green, fumbles the ball, but the Lancers get the break and cover it as Dave Green is stuck. Curtis Tracy causing a fumble, but it was recovered, I believe, by Holmes, number 20. Very alert play. Matt Holmes.
Tracy is fast, but if he wants to hurdle, he ought to go up with the track team. That was an awfully dangerous play. Not only did he fumble the ball, he could have gotten himself killed.
As you mentioned, Steve, great field position. After a good punt by Onofre out of his own end zone back to the 42, 43-yard line.
Nice pass.
First and 10 from the 30. That was intended receiver.
He should have caught that. If he had caught that, he might have gone in. His hand was playing awfully tight on the D, and he had slipped behind him.
Roland Hawk perhaps throwing the ball just a bit behind him. So second down 10, football inside the 30-yard line. 14 seconds to go, first quarter. Rolling and racing to the right from set. And it's Delisa with a big hole once again. Delisa hurdles and gets inside the 20 down to about the 17-yard line.
They had to put some of these guys in the Wanamaker games. I've seen more hurdling here than in a track meet. That'll be the end of the first quarter with, once again, Notre Dame on the march.
Impressive first quarter for the Lancers. The Tigers perhaps a bit surprising, Steve.
time that Notre Dame has gotten the ball deep inside hand territory. The first time, toward the end of the first quarter, we saw hand stop them 3 times from within the 2-yard line. Notre Dame is proving that it can move the ball, but they got to get the ball in the end zone one way or another. You can only do this so many times and come up empty and still stay on top of your game.
First set once again on 2nd and 5. Ball scorer inside the 10. Matt Cooper on the tackle. As Delisa, with Cooper had a hold of his ankle, went forward for a couple extra.
More than a couple.
And the ball just inside the 10 brings up 3rd down, short 3.
When they've gone to passing on short yardage, they've usually done quick look-in patterns. So if they drop back here, we might look for something like that.
And we'll go back to Delisa. Hannessy will pick up 1 to about the 8. They'll bring up 4th and 2.
Well, they're in 4-down territory here. They're going to go for it anyway.
Taylor and Hughes check in. Cooper and Rubler from the Tigers.
Notre Dame from the hand to 8-yard line.
I don't know if Notre Dame has a kicker or not.
Jeff Maloney brought something in from the sideline. Mason on the Nikolai. He'll spread out wide to the left, Mason to the right. And on 4th down, I don't believe the Lancers advanced the ball to the necessary 7-yard line for the first down, and I believe on downs it was over. That is the case. Once again, the Tigers defense holds.
I think Hand knew what was coming that time. A quarterback sneak, which is as basic as you can get on 4th and short. And looks like they'd read the Notre Dame playbook before that play went off. Another strong stand by the Hand defense. Now their offense is back there, and once again is faced with quite a ways to get out of their own end. Probably will. That'll be 4 penalties by my count. Nope, it's going to go the other way.
That'll move the ball forward 5, so it'll be first down and 5. For the Tigers, Notre Dame last year, as you mentioned, Steve, earlier, 14-0. Was this type of a game last year, except for 2 big plays, a long run by Hevesy and a pass from Hevesy to Duncanson. And that was all the scoring last year, the 14-0 game won by the Tigers. Kelly here finds a big ball and gets out to the 23-yard line, up for the Tigers first down.
The way this game looks to be shaping up, it may be another game of a couple of big plays. Had one already as Hand stopped the Lancers at 4th and goal down to the goal line, but for either team to score some points here, it may take a big play or 2. It certainly is not what you call an offensive explosion so far.
Kelly over the right side, over the 30 to 31. With a pickup of about 7 yards, bring up 6 down and 3. Kelly's not starting defense. A little bit banged up from last week's game, as we saw number 30. Both at tailback position and linebacker position, as well as Randy Lee last week, and with some pretty severe thigh bruises, is only going to go one way tonight. Hopefully, Larry Ciotti said, and we'll have to see what happens there. As Hevesy drops back and rolls, comes up the middle, cuts it back.
Play by quarterback, first number 3 for the Tigers.
Rich Kersetter.
Notre Dame took for a first down for him.
Looked like Hevesy had some room there, and you mentioned last year against the same team, he broke off a long run. He's got some speed once he gets moving forward and backward. Not laterally, he's not very quick, but straight ahead, he's got some speed.
From the Tiger 35, Hevesy sprints out left, looks for Zaneski, now cuts it back.
point right there. I don't know if that was a design run or an option or what.
Well covered out on the flat. I think Hevesy saw that. Smart enough now, being an experienced senior, not to go into the double coverage and just decided to turn it back up. Look for running room, which was not there. Second and 10 again would be Kelly. And he's tripped up behind the rim. Richard Walker.
Especially offensively, although they haven't put the ball in the end zone yet, their running backs have impressed me very much.
Coming off a 2-9 season, they did lose by 20 to Derby. As you mentioned, Derby is a very good team, and perhaps that's not a patch score to lose by, although losing is losing. Exactly. An L is an L, or a W is a W.
Roses are red, violets are blue. Now, this is interesting.
Getting back to the point I was starting to make, the Lancers Class S school, the enrollment of 285 boys in the sophomore, junior, senior class and 100 freshmen. So they don't have really that many numbers to work with, so even so, it's even more surprising that they've looked as good as they have.
Yeah. The depth isn't there. The frontline players may be good, but the, almost the block.
Orfeo's punt is almost blocked. Fumbled and recovered by Reese. Blocked. Holmes tried to get going a little bit too quickly before catching the ball. Fumbles it. Reese picks it up. And on the punt, and Orfeo did a nice job to get it over Tom Bucci, who was right in on an Orfeo.
John Reese recovers the fumble punt for him.
So last week against Brantford, we saw 2 fumble punts, I believe, and here we see one.
Fumble recovery brings up the first and 10 for hand from the Lancers, 42-yard line.
First half, no score. And Hevesy just off the fingertips of Zaneski, which would have been enough for a first down after 30.
Zaneski ordinarily would have caught that ball because it was right in the hands, but this being his first game back, he also doesn't have all his bearings.
Scott Duncanson, the main receiver who's out with a rib injury, broken rib, and had a punctured lung, is listed at 6'2". Zaneski listed at 5'10".
Yeah.
So perhaps Hevesy a little bit, perhaps more used to throwing it to a little bit taller person as he threw to Duncanson in the preseason. And he don't feel much of the night what he threw last week. This time out of the backfield is Scannesi. Scannesi is taken down by Rich Walker, number 71. And without Duncanson in there last week, Coach Gianni said Scannesi was his most sure-handed receiver. Now with Zaneski in there, the Tigers have 2 very good receivers, both Scannesi and Zaneski.
About Duncanson, Ciotti said he took losing him takes away half the passing game right away. That illustrates the importance of Scott Duncanson.
And hopefully Scotty won't miss much more than half the year. Hevesy can't find a receiver. Now he'll run it. And Hevesy will get down inside the 35 to the 34. It's hit fairly hard there by Robert Straub. Also, once again, 78 over there.
It'll be 4th and about a yard, and unquestionably they'll go for it.
Brian Kelly on the carry for hand. Looks good for a first down.
I believe number 14, but Kelly's
Stop by Joe Costino on the play.
forward to get the Tigers the first down.
Ball spotted at the 31-yard line of Notre Dame. Bringing up a 1st and 10 for the
Looks like
hand.
they're putting together a nice drive here, and it was helped by a mistake, the fumbled punt by Notre Dame. This may be a game of mistakes that are turned into scores. And made a few mistakes early on. Now Notre Dame made a big one.
On 1st and 10, they'll go straight up the middle. And Kelly was taken down by Rich Kurtstetter.
Ross Kelly on the play for hand. Stop close to the line of scrimmage. Gain about a yard.
Under 4 minutes to go, first half, but still no score.
First down on the stop. Along with Brian Murphy. Brings up a 2nd and 9. He's a hand target. From the Notre Dame 30-yard line.
Joe Woodler in at flanker. He's on the right wing. Hennessy rolls left. And Hennessy has to go off his face mask, I believe. Down close to the 25-yard line.
May have been academic. He was being trailed very closely by a linebacker from Notre Dame, so even if he had caught the ball, it probably wouldn't have gone for very much yardage.
It appeared that perhaps Hennessy might have thrown the ball a little bit hard.
Well, I saw Hennessy after he threw the ball, he slapped his hands together, either to say, oh, I threw it too hard, or, oh, the guy missed an easy pass.
Well, Spaghetti was only about 7 or 8 yards away from him.
Yeah.
Chris got a very strong arm. Perhaps even a little bit more touch on that. Here's Kelly coming back to the counter. And he's stacked up. A loss on the play. And once again, it's Bucci. Bucci and
Stop by John Busey at the finish line. He's a 4th and 9. Brian Kelly.
Defensive line, Steve, making the tackles, then your
Secondary.
secondary, especially your safety back there.
Shotgun.
9 from the gun. Hennessy looks to gun it to Zaneski. Zaneski goes long. He's
Got
open.
him. Nope.
And he traps the ball down.
Pass intended for Danny Zaneski is incomplete.
Zaneski to turn it
Notre Dame Raptors takes over.
Zaneski did not turn it up quick enough.
On down.
And I think that
From
blew off the
their
timing
own
a little bit.
30-yard line.
Still, a nice job by Hevesy to first to buy himself some time rolling left, and then to see that Hevesy had gotten that Zaneski had gotten behind the defender, signaled to him to go back toward the goal line, and Hevesy was a little bit short on the throw, but he was rolling to his left, trying to throw back across his body to the right. It was a very tough thing to do.
On downs, the ball turns over to the Lancers. They'll have a 1st and 10 from their own 30. 2:58 to go first half. And on first down, they'll look to go long once again to Bracey against McIntyre.
Beautiful.
Bracey with a beautiful catch, and McIntyre perhaps with a saving tackle down at the Tiger 36.
Once again, as that ball was released, I looked at where it was going, and Bracey and McIntyre were about 5 yards apart. McIntyre was ahead of him. He started watching the ball, and Bracey slipped behind him to where the ball ended. McIntyre held his head in shame a little bit after that play, knowing that he made a mistake, playing the ball instead of the man.
He's only a sophomore, and he's been really productive in the secondary, and he's going to be a good one. He's just a bit inexperienced right now. And once again, he's throwing the ball up. There's the experience on the other side. This time, he goes right to the ball, takes it down after the 11, as quarterback Bowman was hit hard as he released it. Once again, the Lancers threw the ball down the field. The Tigers capitalized, and now they'll be into a 2-minute drill with 2:30 to go here in the first half.
They went to the same play, the very next play, looping it up there, hoping that Bracey could run under it, but good play by Wiesbrock. I think he sensed that they were going to try the same thing, and he played a little soft and was able to get some more depth on his coverage. Does Hand have a 2-minute offense?
Well, we'll see what they do. Here's Spaghetti up the middle, big hole, to about the 22-yard line. I think perhaps they want to get a little bit more room
Looks like a first down.
and that should give it to him as they'll move the chains. First and 10 now from close to the 23-yard line.
Stop Notre Dame, and all stopping at the line. First and 10 for Hand from their own 22-yard line. Cross
scrimmage, second down.
Rich Walker was in the backfield almost before the ball was.
Getting back to that play that we thought was also throwing the ball up to Gracie, who's about 6 feet tall, against 5'7" McIntyre. The sophomore will work a little bit better on that side. But
Yeah.
up against the senior co-captain, who's also 5'11", 6 feet. They're not going to pull it off.
They've got to get that matchup, that other matchup.
This one out to Kelly on the right side.
They'll move this two back. That's a good point, Chris. I don't know if the Notre Dame quarterback has the ability to check off at the line, but if he had looked over there to see who was playing Gracie, he would have seen that the most experienced man in the backfield was on him, and he might have called an audible or a different type of play at the line of scrimmage. I think this is run off the clock time here, Chris.
Clock winding down, 30 seconds to go, and it's Kelly. And 26-yard line, close to the 27. As the clock winds down, and I think both teams, at this point, Steve, look like they'll be satisfied to go into halftime.
Hey, if I were Notre Dame, I'd call a timeout and try to block the punt right now.
Now they just did, but they wasted valuable time.
Oh, I don't like that.
There was 29 seconds when we started talking about it, down to 15.
I don't like that. You call a timeout immediately and try to get the kick, if they do kick it. And if you rough the kicker, then they only got 10 seconds left anyway.
Problem now is they let those valuable 14 seconds go off the clock. By the time they force the Tigers to punt and get the ball, they will barely have enough time, probably for only one play.
Yeah.
And if they had not let those 14 seconds, with 14 seconds you can get off usually two passing plays.
Sure.
That would have probably given them 3 plays. Now they're probably going to have 1 play.
Yeah. They got to go for the kick. That's what I think, which means they probably won't do that, but we'll see.
No, you make a good point. They can't be hurt at all by going to the clock.
Sure. 29 seconds left.
What's going to happen is the Tigers would have the ball
about the 40.
35-40.
What's that?
With
15
1 play
seconds.
left. Hevesy does have a great arm, but he won't throw it 65 yards or so into the end zone.
Not through this fog, anyway.
The Tigers have to get here now. With Dave Green doing the snapping for Mike Ciotti, last year's All-Stater. Going to get a good snap here.
Got it.
And he handles it well enough there. And he's done a nice job punting the last couple of games. There's Holmes, who fumbled it before. Looks like they tried to set up some sort of wall over to the right side.
The flag down might be either a late hit or...
Holmes slipped down as it's a bit misty and damp tonight, and I would imagine the field is probably getting just a bit wet.
Well, we were down there before the game, Chris, and I noticed it was very wet even then. That was when the sun was up.
As we mentioned, having 1 play left, there's just 6 seconds now.
Yeah.
The thing here is if the penalty had gone against the Tigers, which it doesn't, they may have had a chance to throw the ball into the end zone because it would have brought the ball down close to the 35, and perhaps Stromanhock could throw the ball 40 yards, I'm not sure. But now, with the penalty going against the Lancers, and the ball spotted at the 41, either run it out or, perhaps you do a little Miami Dolphin razzle-dazzle. You run the hook or curl, and then you lateral
it back, right?
Or you just like Bracey.
Yeah, or in their case, they just throw it up and let Bracey run under it somewhere. Now they're taking another timeout. I don't think they know what they want to do.
Currently, the Tigers have 12 men on the field. And now Hughes
can't do that.
Tigers have defenders back at the 40-yard line. And once again, they throw the ball up. Bracey's open down the sideline. Oh, he's caught. Maybe perhaps he's only a sophomore, but one of the best hitters on the Tigers, Steve McIntyre. Perhaps Tracy will think twice about running down the sideline for the ball here in the second half as we watch both teams shot the locker room. We'll be back for second half action here on Madison Community TV. After this halftime intermission, the score, hand Tigers nothing, and the Lancers at the Notre Dame. From the start of second half action here at the Madison Surf Club, the hand Tigers and the Lancers Notre Dame of Fairfield locked in a 0-0 game. And usually about this time we run down the first half stats. Paul Nichols is out tonight, so we don't have the rushing and passing totals.
There are no stats.
There aren't many stats as far as scoring goes. And so right now, Steve, take it away.
Well, we were able to listen in on the halftime conversation of the Madison line coach, Steve Sekula, and the big problem, according to him, was the line play of the hand offensive line, and they're going to get the ball first here in the second half. So we'll see if any of what he said sunk in.
Okay, set to go here, second half action. Mike McCarthy hits it, and it'll spin down at the 30 and go out of bounds. And the Lancers, I think, will be kicking the ball again here.
The hand coaching staff was not too happy with the effort put forth by the hand offensive line in the first half. And you mentioned that a lot of that has to do with the fact that maybe the best running back is not in there, Stu Lecky. And a good running back can make a line look awfully good.
I think there's no question. If Steve Sekula is upset at the line play, then I'm sure that, they're not blocking and, taking on their correct responsibilities.
Well, they certainly were dominated in that first half.
But I also feel that when your top running back is not in the ball game, it's a lot easier to point out the reason things aren't going that well, and the people to point out that aren't doing that well is your offensive line. When you don't have somebody that's 200 pounds and fast like Stu Lecky to run sort of like Rich Austin ran last week with Brantford, well, your line's not going to look as good. Kelly's really a converted linebacker. And Spignessi, they're both hard-nosed kids, and they're both very good, sure-handed backs. They don't have the speed and some of the agility of a guy like Stu Lecky.
We'll move back to the 35-yard line. And Mike McCarthy will again kick off for the Notre Dame Lancers.
Head coach of Notre Dame had some interesting things to say, too, and we'll get to those when the Lancers get the ball.
Brock and Zaneski, they kick it to Zaneski. He'll field it at the 25, and he's up over the 30, quickly over the 35, still on his feet, up to the 44-yard line, and a flag comes in late on the play, in on the tackle for the Lancers.
Tackled by number 50, Robert Stern.
50, and it will go against the Lancers. And Coach Scotty, before the ball game, Steve mentioned to us that Zaneski would be an added help returning kicks and punts. And
well, that was a
right
nice
there,
return.
Great field position to start the second half.
Good return and a good job by his front wall there, setting him up a nice little area in the middle of the field to run up, and he saw it very quickly, took advantage of it. A late hit penalty on Notre Dame. I didn't really see the late hit. I don't know where it came from, but it gives hand great field position to start the second half.
They are inside Lancers territory at the 41-yard line. First and 10, nice location. Two receivers to the left, Kelly to the right, and he'll cross over the 40. Down to the 39-yard line, and pick up a 2, second down, 8. As you mentioned, Steve, Lancers coach John Savoni did have a couple of things to say at halftime. Just to get a second, we'll pass them along to you. Second down to 8 out of the eye. Tigers and Orioles to the wide and right. Edison pitches to Kelly. And Kelly's still on his feet. Running with ranges inside the 35 down to the 33. And Hughes leading the way over the left side.
Kelly did that mostly himself because the initial blocking had totally broken down, and a couple of Lancer defenders had clean shots to stop him for no gain, but he bounced right off them and made 5 very tough yards all on his own.
And they'll bring up in a third down and a 3 for the Tigers to place in Zaneski to the left side out of the eye. Swing right, give to Spignessi, and he will get up. Close to the first down. I believe it'll be close enough to measure. somewhat academic in the sense that should the Tigers be a bit short, they would go for it on fourth, and it'll be only inches at the 31.
Yeah, I think they got it. If they didn't, they missed it by a matter of half the length of a football.
From here, it appears where they had the marker that they will be just a tad short. But
a couple inches, maybe.
Where they have the markers on the sidelines aren't always is exact where they have the third down marker.
An inch.
When I say tad short, is there a word smaller than tad? Because that ball is about a half an inch from being a first down. Right here, I believe Hevesy will sneak.
The only thing that can stop them from getting a first down here is a bad snap or someone jumping too soon.
Minute and a half in for the second half of the play. The Tigers play here on fourth and a foot.
Hevesy takes it across the 30-yard line for a first down for him.
29-yard line. Actually, it was only inches to go. Although you hear a lot of the broadcasters call anything inside a yard a foot. But that was actually probably only about an inch or so.
We never say that.
No, we
it's
don't.
An inch, we say it's an inch.
That's right. We tell it like it is. But you give Hevesy 1 yard on the carry. Now first and 10 from the 29. Kelly left side. The line doing a nice job there. Kelly still on his feet. Bulldog is down to the 16. And another flag comes in late.
Might be a face mask. It's going to be a face mask. It looks as though the hand offensive line has obviously responded to the barbs from their coach at halftime.
Now that we have a second, let's mention what Coach O'Leary said.
Well, he was upset with himself primarily in that the Lancers had two very good chances to score, and he blamed himself for them not converting it because they went to very conservative play calling once they got down there, and he was blaming that on himself. And he says, we got to open up a little more on these guys, and when we get the ball down close, like we did twice, we have to put it in. They're too good a football team not to take advantage of every chance we get.
That's great. Coach Boating's words. 8 years in Notre Dame of Fairfield, a former wide receiver coach for Central Connecticut, has Kelly, his arm tackled by Christina, number 14 for the Lancers. But Kelly manages to get down just inside the 5-yard line.
Savotic's a history teacher in Notre Dame. If his team doesn't do something offensively soon, the team's going to be history tonight.
Also, I should mention that Coach Savotic extremely courteous to us both before the game and at halftime.
A little nervous at halftime, but he did talk to us.
Out of the eye with Zaneski to the right, he's rocking the slot.
Encroachment. Or 71 for Notre Dame jumped a little bit too soon. Who's that? Rich Walker. A little bit anxious.
Offside communication against Notre Dame.
Of course, almost any coach will tell you that your first possession of the second half, especially when you go to the locker room in a nothing tie, the whole game can ride on your first possession in the second half.
Yep.
Should the Tigers score here, it could be all Tigers the rest of the way. They can take the win right out of the Lancers' sails. For lack of a better cliche. Kelly, the workhorse here in the second half. He takes it down to about the 1.
You find that in a lot of sports. You find it in basketball. The first 2 minutes, 3 minutes of the second half usually dictate the way the game is going to go. Right here, we're seeing Hand being the dominant team in the first 3+ minutes of the second half.
Not only is the line fired up, somebody's fired up Kelly. And he's doing the job right here. They're down 1. It's
Nope. Nope.
He'll be only inches from the goal line. And it's going to bring up a fourth down situation, much the same in reverse.
Well, now it's up to the Lancers here to put on a big goal line stand of their own. And if they stop Hand here, then they could get the momentum. Because a game like this really doesn't have any momentum yet. It doesn't have any form. There's no shape, no trend.
Well, we start to mold it right about now.
That's a 6-0 hand.
Trying the extra point.
Extra point attempted by John. We stop.
Evans's goal is a good one.
Nope.
Kick would be
Right.
That could be important.
That was a tough one. Evans handled it nicely. Threw off the timing a little bit. The Tigers not make the extra point, so with 7:40 to go here in the third quarter, it's the Tigers 6 and the Lancers. Send Bracey, Holmes, and Rolian back deep. All three standing at about the 15-yard line. Slight wind tonight, and it'll be at these spots back. And
Nice kick.
gets the ball to Rolian, picks it up to 18, 20, 25, 30. Still on his feet down to the 34-yard line.
Rolian picks up carries for Blanford.
In on the tackle, along with Chris Flanagan. And
Tackle by Chris
Thompson
Flanagan in
wearing
the
my old
play.
number,
The
81.
ball is spotted out at the 34-yard line.
They didn't retire that one?
Well, they've been thinking about it for about 10 years. But
They should stop thinking about
when
it
they
now.
asked me about it, I said, no, go ahead, just use it.
Oh, you're so generous, Chris.
And right now, unfortunately, we have a player down on the field. I believe it's a Lancer, and that'll give me a chance to mention that this game on Madison Community Television is brought to you by our sponsor, First Federal Savings and Loan of Madison, along with the Madison Football Boosters. And we're glad that we can bring it to you, as we will do all the Can Tiger games, home and away, right here on Madison Community Television.
I'm going to mention our cameraman. Can't forget Jim. Good old what's-his-name.
Let's mention our analyst, Steve Depp, WELI radio personality, and
Cameraman.
sometimes cameraman, Joe LePage.
All right, Joe.
Bill Littell unable to be with us this evening, along with Hal Levy. Pleasure to have my old buddy Steve Teff.
The $100 winner, ticket number 332858.
Hal Levy
repeat
and
that.
Paul Nichols both
332858.
A lot of people.
Thompson, assistant sports editor, is having a Friday evening wedding.
A lot of people are not here tonight. Paul Nichols, Levy.
Actually, speaking of people, it's really a baseball sport crowd tonight.
For a Madison game, yes.
Not a real big crowd.
Well,
The
today,
Tigers don't get into the heart of the season for another few weeks, although next week against Stratford is supposed to be a tough one. As Larry Ciotti mentioned, Stratford is one of the top 5 teams in the Coastal.
they got a couple of tough games coming up. They got Stratford away, and then the following Friday at Xavier.
And then we always tough Pinnell, who
Yep.
had tough games with the last 2 years.
That's home, and then the
And
next
then
two
North
are away. Brantford, North Brantford, Law, and back here for Morgan. Then at 4, and then back home for Middletown, which is always a power. And then the traditional Turkey Day game with Guilford, and it's here this year.
There was some talk about the Turkey Day game being switched in years to come, going back to the way it was when I played back in 73, 74.
Morgan?
Playing Morgan.
Ooh, I like
I
that.
believe I read Guilford would be then playing North Brantford. There's just been some talk in the papers. I'm not sure if it was the Shoreline Times or what paper it was in.
I think they should do that.
Quite honestly, it does seem to be more of a rivalry than Morgan.
It certainly was when you and I were at Hand and Morgan, respectively. Those were the days when we always used to beat you guys.
I don't remember those days at all.
I do.
Not in 1973 anyway. You didn't.
Oh, that's ancient. I'm talking about 74, 75.
On second down 10, Dave Green busts through the line. And he'll take down Holmes back at the 31. It'll be a loss of about 3 on the play, and will bring up a third down and about 13.
I get the sense that Hand has seized control of this game offensively and certainly on this defensive series here. In 2 plays, Notre Dame has lost 3 yards.
The Tigers come out fired up. And if their defense can hold here, the momentum even more so on the Tigers' side. Flags down all over as Fromenhock is pursued. Probably throws an ill-advised pass, but it's almost picked off by Ruger. It was intended for Scott Award.
Penalty's going to go against Notre Dame. Quarterback, you got his name better than I do. Kromenhoek moved a little quickly before he was in the shotgun, and he moved on 3, and the snap came on 4. A hand probably would decline the penalty. That would bring up a 4th down. You certainly get the feeling that Notre Dame's run into a bit of a dead zone right now.
Defensively for the Tigers, Dave Guzio, who made a nice stop on the goal line stand back in the first half. He's currently in the game for the Tigers. Dropping back deep, Dan Zaneski and John Wiesbach standing at 35 and 40-yard line. And McCarthy punts. Did not have a deep drop. Zaneski fields it at the 37, looks for the wall, it's set up beautiful, but there are flags on the play. Zaneski stays on his feet. Punt is taken out of bounds after he crosses the Lancer 40-yard line. Flag back in midfield.
You know, Notre Dame only had 10 men on that play.
That may explain why the Tigers got so close to block.
They had 10 men on the field that time. I thought it looked awfully funny. I kept counting them, and I kept coming up with 10.
Also, McCarthy did not have the normal depth that a punter takes when he kicks the ball. He looked almost like he was in a quick kick formation.
Well, they got a break there, A, in getting a penalty, and B, not having a long run back because they only had 10 men on the field.
It seems nowadays rarely do you get a run back where there isn't a flag.
Yeah.
Penalty brings up the 1st and 10 for him from their own 33-yard line.
They carry the ball to about the 40 of the Lancers. Right now the ball spotted at the Tigers' own 33. 1st and 10, and it's Kelly. And he'll work the right side of the defense.
Kelly on the carry brings it out to the 44-yard line.
Now they spotted up closer to the...
That's the 39-yard. Spotted the 39-yard. Gain of 6.
They're starting to get some real good gains on 1st down in the second half. Maybe the Notre Dame's going to need a turnover here to switch momentum around.
Millfield stood right. Wiesbach in the slot. And Kelly, the ball carrier, steps over a couple tackles. And shades of Kenny McVay of last year. Kelly carries about 2 tackles.
Ball spotted at Notre Dame 48. Tackle on the play by Mike McCarthy.
That line is playing so much better than it did in the first half. Amazing what a few choice words in a locker room can do for your motivation.
Tigers now 1st and 10. Once again, same formation. Slot to the right. Kelly once again. Green, Millard, and Hughes. And those two gentlemen are doing an outstanding job here in the second half. 7 minutes in.
As long as this keeps working, we won't see the Tigers put the ball anywhere near the air at all. They're getting 4 or 5 yards a pop on every play on the ground so far. No reason to change.
Formation working well. They stay with it. Sprint out. Off the fingertips of the referee.
That's why they shouldn't throw the ball.
Of course, that was a fairly safe
Brings up a 3rd and 3 from the Notre Dame 41-yard line.
It surprised me that they would try that with the running game going so well.
That was 2nd down and fairly short. And I think it could have been somewhat of a free play. 3rd and 3, the way Kelly's been going, ought to be able to pick up 3 here. 2 wide receivers. Wiesbach to the left,
oh boy.
To the right. And this is recalled to Kelly, and he'll get enough for the 1st down.
Ryan Kelly carries for him. The ball spotted at the 37-yard line of Notre Dame. Tackle on the play by Robert Shaw.
It really doesn't look like Notre Dame can stop Hand on the ground right now.
Brian Kelly
Field is tipping downwards and Hand is going downhill.
From the Notre Dame 37.
Once again, the Tigers spread them out a little bit. 2 wide receivers to the left side. It's Kelly right side. Kelly still on his feet.
Brian Kelly on the stop again across the 30-yard line.
Number 64 for the Lancers. And this time,
Mark Mark Travaglino on the stop. The ball is spotted at the 29-yard line of Notre Dame.
Opening up some huge holes.
Tremendous play in the second half by Hughes and Green on the right side of that line.
That time it was Shaler and Pegnataro along with the tight end Newcomb providing the blocking. And of course the center Dave Green. Sprint out left, never see a keep, and I think he had that in mind all the way. With the cut back, it's picked up by 3 or 4 tackles, stays on his feet, comes down.
Across the 20-yard line for him.
Big boy.
First down.
At 6'1", 196, and
Mark Travaglino on the stop for Notre Dame. Ball is spotted at the 17.
First and 10, it's Kelly, slips through a nice hole, and gets down inside the 10. Spotted about the 8. That'll be a big pickup for Kelly, about close to 9 yards, bring up second and 1.
Gain of 9.
3 minutes, 18 seconds to go, third quarter. The Lancers have only touched the ball once here in the second half.
Yeah, 3 plays, 4 plays.
This one appears to be short.
Short by about 2 inches. Some people would call a foot.
Short of the first down by a foot or 2.
See?
Brings up a second and 1 for him.
Got you downstairs, a foot or 2.
Oh, boy.
First prize winner was Judy Dennis for $100. Second prize winner was Rich Coloquian for $50.
One of the people that just won the raffle sound like Carolian, which would be the father of the free safety for the Lancers. He won $50 in the Tiger raffle.
It's going to be real popular.
I'm sure Mr. Carolian will come back next year.
Yeah.
Actually, we'll be going down there next year.
Going right, Mark Travaglino on the stop. The carry was
First and goal.
Ball spotted at the 6-yard line. At the end becomes first
A
and goal.
touchdown
from the
here, I think,
6-yard
would
line.
really just about put the wraps on it. And toward the end of the third quarter, 3 minutes left, and 13-0 advantage might be too much for the Lancers to overcome.
First and goal from the 6. Kelly, he'll slip outside.
He's in.
He'll get in. He'll get in. Kelly wanted me badly and got it. Got picked by, again, the only man who had a chance. He missed the tackle, but there was no stop for Kelly as he went around the right side.
Touchdown, Brian Corey from the 6-yard line.
Once again, they ran right behind Kevin Hughes. As that offensive line has really woken up in the second half. I'd wake up too. I don't know if I'd want to face 5 hard days of practice with Steve Sekula either.
As Steve Sekula mentioned, next week's game being on a Saturday means one more day of practice.
Long week.
All the first half mistakes will be forgotten if the Tigers continue to play this way in the second half.
First half mistakes are what the people on the Notre Dame side of the field are thinking about right now. A couple of deep drives that ended up with 0 points. One of them stopped inches from the goal line on fourth and goal.
It looks like the Tigers talking over possibly going for 2 points here, as Wiesbach missed the first extra point, so the Tigers could extend the lead to 14. Wiesbach is on, but no tee in sight as of yet.
They figure that the way they're running the ball now, they probably should go for the 2-pointer, and they will.
Tigers line up with Wiesbach in the slots and Esky outside. side of him, and Newcomb is tight to the left. McNessie and Kelly. Hevesy rolls out, being pressured and dragged down by number 84, Scott Ward. Left defense man did his job. Not let Hevesy get outside, and the Tigers point conversion over and on. 2 to go here in the third quarter. The Tigers now lead 12-0. John Wiesbach set the kick. Rolian, Gracie, and Holmes standing at about the 10-15-yard line. Kick. Nice squib.
Nice catch.
40. And stuck by Millard at the 44-yard line. It is Robert Straub, who is the left tackle.
That's not a bad play. That's a pretty good play. I think Wiesbach lined that ball at him intentionally to try to get him to drop it and maybe get a recovery of the mishandled kickoff. Not a bad play. Notre Dame obviously wasn't expecting it, and he made a hell of a catch.
A lot of credit to Robert Straub.
Yeah.
Linemen do not usually have the hands to make that type of catch. Wiesbach was really hit hard. Pitch goes to DeLisa. He gets outside, but Cooper manages to tie him up long enough and chip him up. He falls forward for about 5. And Newcomb over there to finish the tackle for the Tigers.
Notre Dame needs a score very badly right here. Or at least they need to move the ball down the field to prove to themselves that they can still do it.
Carolian is split wide to the right. Gracie inside Carolian. Pro set. It's DeLisa. He'll get 3. And he'll bring up 3rd and 2.
Into the Tiger territory.
Millard over there for the Tigers.
Tackle on the play by Matt Cooper. No spot at the Madison 48-yard line. Bringing up a 3rd and 2 for Notre Dame from the hand 48-yard line.
Down 2, Tigers 8 men up tight. And it's DeLisa.
Gilgary spins the ball to the 45-yard line, close to the first down marker.
Got it on his own, too. He got hit.
About a football length, he got that one by, and then moved the chains. With a minute 9 left in the third quarter. The Lancers now starting to get a little something going their own.
That's first down they picked up in the second half, and that's at least the moral victory.
From the hand, 45-yard line.
They got to throw a few passes now and then to keep him honest, though.
Once again, they spread out the hand defense, sending 2 receivers wide to the right, over the middle, and open is Holmes, and he can't get it, just over his outstretched hands. And perhaps that time, if it was Gracie, he may have been able to run under it, but Holmes did not quite catch up to the pass from Cronin.
A little bit overthrown. If he had caught that, that might have gone. That might have gone for the full 6. That would have kept Dan very honest. Good play call, though. I like that.
Holmes coming out of the backfield out of the pro set, which is what they come out with once again. Nikolai Gracie this time wide to the right. And it's DeLisa. And he's wrapped up after a short game. Guzio over there on the tackle along with McNessie and also Todd Vince.
See, I think it was Vince in there stripping up the ball, trying not so much for the tackle, but trying to strip the ball away from the ball carrier.
And got the 3rd and 8 for Notre Dame. Gain of 2 on the play.
I see a lot of teams doing that. Yeah, it starts at the pros, filters its way down to the colleges, down to the high schools.
As long as one man makes the initial tackle, a second and third one will come over here and try to strip it.
Strip that ball.
Once again, they spread the Tigers out. Kromenhoek over the middle, in and out of the hands of Gracie.
Oh, he got buried.
Gracie is bent like a pretzel by Rubler, Millard, McNessie, and also Guzio. And he's slow. Back to the huddle.
The problem with Kromenhoek, I've been watching the way he sets up the pass. He takes about no more than a 3-step drop, which means he's not giving himself an awful lot of time to set up the patterns and let the patterns finish themselves. And The rush is getting to him, and every pass he throws is rushed. He doesn't have any time. He's got to do a 5 or 7 step drop.
On 4th and 8 from the 44, the Lancers will punt it away. Tigers have no one in deep. High punt. And it'll bound down. A good kick as the Lancers will cover it down at the 10. Where the Tigers will take over 1st and 10 when we start the 4th quarter. Fourth quarter action begins with 1st and 10 from the 10 for the Tigers. And it's Kelly over the right side.
Kelly ready for him. Ball at the 14-15-yard line.
Notre Dame can't afford to let Hand run off a lot of first downs here because they need a lot of time themselves to put the ball in the end zone. They haven't done it yet, but with their offense, they need an awful lot of time, and they can't afford to let Hand chew up 8 or 9 minutes in this 4th quarter. Stopped well short of a first down and was able to spin out of it, get an extra 4 yards, and keep the drive moving.
And now 1st and 10 for the Tigers. Hennessy over the center to the green, barking out the signals. And the give is to Skipkessy. And Skipkessy will get forward from 1 to the 24. And they'll bring up a 2nd down and 9.
Getting close to that time where I may have to start singing, Chris.
Not turn out the lights.
You got it.
Second and 9 from 23-yard line of Ian.
Maybe we'll get hit by an earthquake or something. Kelly takes the pitch, right side, cuts back, still on his feet, and hit hard by Travelino. Kelly holds on to the ball. Out over the 35 to the 38-yard line, another Tiger first down. And the way the Tigers are moving the ball, with the Lancers needing at least 2 possessions to tie or win the ball game, it's downfield at this point, Steve, whether they'll see the ball 2 more times.
Yeah, I doubt it. They're going to need a turnover or something weird.
Kelly, and Kelly tripped up in the backfield by Rich Kerstetter.
Ryan Kelly to the 38,
finishing it off for Rich
gain of a yard on the play, 2nd and 9.
A few times that Kelly has not gained sizable yardage here in the 2nd half.
roster and how big that Brian Wright guy is, the nose guard. 6'4", 255. He's huge.
On 3rd and 8, the Tigers will pass. Haven't seen the drop back. And it's overthrown. Intended for Wiesbrock. Could have been up for the first down. And the Tigers drive stalls a bit, so maybe we have a good reason share. With 8:27 to go. Lancers will see the ball at least once, and it looks like probably at least two more times.
Hevesey's got a very strong arm, but he's got to learn touch a little bit, I think. Every pass he throws is at about the same velocity. Got to learn how to take a little bit off at times.
Notre, 6'4", 200-pounder, with a pretty good boot.
Nobody back there.
Down at the 30-yard line by Carolian, who could have run with the ball. He didn't need the fair catch, I don't believe.
Now, the problem was that Notre Dame was going for the block that time, and there was no one back to block the return man.
A little conservative, though, when you're down 12-0 with 8 minutes to go in the ball game.
Spots the ball on the Notre Dame 30-yard line. Notre Dame takes over the first and 10.
Time for Notre Dame to start opening it up, I think, and they're not the type of team that can really do that.
Out of the pro set on 1st and 10 from about the 30. The pitch goes to Holmes, slips Vince's tackle, and Wiesbach. Saving tackle inside Tiger territory, down at the 44-yard line, and Holmes with
26-yard gain. What a play by Holmes.
Big gainer.
First of all, the pitch was about 2 or 3 feet behind him. He had to grab it with his left arm as he was going to his right. That was a good play number 1. And he just bolted right between several hand defenders. Nice run.
And a big hole. And credit Rich Kerstetter, the right guard, and also Rich Walker, the right tackler, along with Mark Chaplin, the center, opening a big hole. And once again, a fair-sized hole for Lisa. He'll pick up 9, down to 35, 1 yard short of the first down.
Oh, what's going on here? This is strange. All of a sudden, they're running the ball well like they were early in the game.
This is a plus. Really a plus for the Lancers. They must score on this possession.
Yeah.
Or I believe that'll be it for them as they trail 12-0 and the clock winding down to 7 minutes.
And then I can sing.
And you can raise the airwaves. That's his voice. Holmes slipping a couple of tacklers. Tripped up by Stacey at the 30. Falls forward into 26. And a first down for the Lancers.
We didn't see much of Holmes in the first half. It was DeLisa doing most of the running, and all of a sudden Holmes, of course, he may be fresh, a little bit more fresh than DeLisa is. He's gotten himself about 45 yards in the last 3 runs.
Pegnataro and Green tackles Vincent Cooper, the defensive ends, Hughes and Millard, inside linebackers, Newcomb and Dixie, the rovers, the corners, McIntyre and Wiesbach, and safety is Rupa. Over the middle, and had it and lost it was 84 Scott Ward.
I was going to say nice catch, but he tried to tuck it away a little too soon.
It is incomplete.
It was a nice pass. Once again, the quarterback throwing from a very short drop.
And completion brings up 2nd and 10 for Notre Dame.
Ward is
From the
listed
hand,
at 6'1",
25-yard line.
210. Appears from here to be a couple inches taller than that.
Yeah.
Nikolai, Macy split out wide to the right. This Scott Ward tight left. Pitch. To split back home. And back to Green at this time. As Guggio and Green are over there to make the spot.
Dave Guggio in on that play also.
And with 6 minutes and 20 seconds
Lost of 2 on the play.
to go.
Lost of 1 on the play.
Lancers 12 yards on 2 plays for the first down.
From the hand,
And I think we will see them put the ball up in the air here.
Yeah.
They send Carolian and Gracie to the right. Throw set. The 3-step drop over the middle for Gracie. Has it. He might go all the way. Oh, yes, Zaneski. And Zaneski takes him out of bounds at about the 4. So Gracie dragging across the middle, uses his speed once he gets his hands on the ball and takes the ball down inside the 5-yard line.
He did some nice running after he caught that ball. It was a nice catch to begin with. The ball was a little bit ahead of him. But he caught the ball, switched it to his outside hand to get away from the pressure. Then he made a couple of nice juke moves to the inside and just blew right around a couple of hand secondary men. Nice job of running after he caught the ball. Now they got to get the ball in, though. 4 yards. They were in the same situation early in the first quarter and didn't get the ball in.
Well, as Coach Saboni said, he was too conservative.
Yeah, let's see what he does here.
A little bit more aggressive here. And it's
there.
a conservative play to Lisa. He'll struggle for 2, and it'll bring up 2nd and goal from the 2 with 5 minutes and 40 seconds to go here in the ball game. Still plenty of time for the Lancers.
They got to get in there. They got to get in there with at least 4 minutes left, because you got to figure Hand's going to get the ball back. The way they're going, they'll run off at least one first down. That'll be a couple of minutes right there. They're taking a lot of time here. 5:25 and counting. Nope. He'll get to the 1. By Guzio. Boy, that Hand defensive line is tough once you get down there. Well, I mentioned it before. It may be somewhat a conservative call, but we have seen Delisa hurdle tacklers. You only have a yard to go. You just go right up over your center and your right guard, pick a side, and stretch that ball up and out. The only problem to pick up the half a yard is what they need. And here's Delisa. He's in. And he is very close. Touchdown on the second effort.
Notre Dame score. Delisa
was initially stopped, stayed on his feet and struggled for the touchdown. Much of the determination that Kelly had running the ball for the Tigers here, especially in the second half. And very quickly, the game changes around a bit as the Lancers look to make it 12-7 with 4:33 to go in the game. Nice drive. They really rose from the offensive dead. They had done nothing the entire second half, and all of a sudden, a couple of long runs, and they're in the end zone. Big point here. For the Lancers, Alex Martinez, number 34.
Might have an offside against Hand. They may get to kick it over again.
I saw him, 34, Martinez in motion. Martinez was a bit confused as to what side he should be on when he finally got to the left. Just as the ball was being snapped, he took a step back, and that's when the flag was thrown. And that could really come back to haunt the Lancers should they score again.
It could, but if they do score again, they'll tie it up, and they'll still have another chance to kick an easy point after.
They always like to get that first one on the board.
Yeah, you do.
Because had it been 12-7,
yeah, then a touchdown would win.
Yep. You don't need the extra point. Now, if they score, you'll have to make the conversion in order to win the ball game. And with 4:33 to go, the Tigers will be looking to run the clock out.
You do an onside kick here?
Quite honestly, Steve, the way the Tigers have controlled the ball, they're right now the teams are lined up opposite. The Lancers just scored a touchdown.
Here they go. Now they know what's going on. Come on, guys. Let's go.
From east to west. And it's not the Lancers' fault. Both teams are on the wrong side. Neither one realizes it.
Wake up, people.
I'm not sure the referee realized it right off the bat.
Oh, boy. Flag on the referee.
He had the ball already teed up, but he was just about set to kick it. But as getting back to your point, the way the Tigers ran the ball, and the time that they were taking off the clock, I would think that the Lancers' best chance at getting possession back here in the ball game would be the onside kick. The Tigers are expecting it.
They've got Hevesy up front along with a couple of running backs.
All the hands are up front. Weisbrock, Kelly, Millard, Spagnetti, Hevesy, the front five.
Might try to pop it right over.
Rubler and Vince, Steve Zaneski, and Lecky in the ball game. Fields it at the 20, 25, 30. Stewie Lecky taking on tacklers up to the 39-yard line. And a big hand from the crowd. Lecky sees his first action of the 1986 season.
Dan takes over first and 10 from their own 39-yard line.
That was the first play he's seen this season? Somewhat risky putting him in there in a situation like this.
4:17 to go in the ball game. First and 10. Tigers from their own 39. Kelly. And he'll be taken down after he dropped it to 45 and about 47 and pick up about 8 yards.
Big pickup pickup. That almost ensures them of another first down and another 2 minutes off the clock, and there's only 3:55 left.
You need the ball back. Your key play is on first down. The Lancers did not come up with the clutch play there as they gave Kelly the game. Second and 2 for him. Second and 2, it's Kelly, and he'll get the first and more as he crosses midfield into Lancer territory. Tackler Mark Travelino.
Ryan Kelly on the carry. Mark Travelino and Robert Stroud on the carry. The ball is fouled at
They got to stop him here, or else they're going to have to start using timeouts.
One more Tiger first down. It's about cemented. And this time it's Spaghetti. And Spaghetti gets down to the 46.
Ryan Wright, the fellow of the Notre Dame line, stop and drop situation.
I don't often say that low scoring games are exciting, but in a sense it's been an exciting game, although the score is only 12-6.
It's going to be really exciting if Notre Dame manages to get the ball back.
If Notre Dame
Yes, if.
Yeah.
It's a very big if right now.
Second and 8. Notre Dame did what they wanted to do on first down. And right there, Kelly gets up to the 40. It'll bring up third down and about 2.5. Slow getting up.
And it's definitely going to take 2 shots to get the 3 yards here.
Third and 3 for him on the Notre Dame 40.
And it is a short 3.
Yep.
About 2.5.
When they get this first down, it's over. It's 2:10 now left.
Split out to the right.
Too much time.
That could be very costly for the Tigers. 2 downs to get 2.5 yards.
Yeah.
Now it's 2 downs to get close to 8 yards.
Back to the 35-yard line of Notre Dame.
That's a tough penalty. They don't have the 30-second clock up there. You wonder how are they supposed to know how much time they have left. You play a full game, you get knocked around, your head gets a little scrambled out there. You can't really tell how much time you've got left with no clock and nobody telling you.
Especially when you shuttle the plays in from the sideline. That takes time. Pitch goes to Kelly, and making a key defensive play for the Lancers was number 78, Tom Bucci, who got a hold of Kelly's shirt. Otherwise, Kelly would have been down. May have managed to get down close to the first down.
Timeout taken by the Lancers.
Now the Tigers have a bit of a different situation.
I think you go for it.
We were thinking they would go for it because they needed 2.5 on 2 plays. Now it's a different sitch, 4th and 6.
And Onofrio's in there. But let's see. Oh, apparently they're going to... Well, there comes Hevesy back in there. I'd go for it. Because they're in Notre Dame territory.
I feel that Notre Dame's done a nice job punting for 2 weeks. I wouldn't want to give them the ball at the 44-yard line. Not the way they just took it down my throat about 2 minutes ago. So if I was the Tigers, I'd punt it away here.
On the other hand, I wouldn't want to risk on a very wet night with a very wet field having a bad snap.
Yeah, there's
points on both sides, as usual.
I just would not want to give the Lancers the ball up that close to midfield with still 2 minutes to work with and a couple timeouts.
On the other hand, if you're the Lancers, if they do kick here, do you go for the ball or do you set up a return? They haven't had much luck setting up returns all night. On the other hand, they go for the block and they don't get it, and they get the kicker, that's the end of the ball game.
The way it looks now, they're not going to be blocking him because they have 2 men deep.
I'd set up the return.
And the Tigers are going to... They're just going to listen to me on this one. And,
well, they're lining up to kick it.
Set to punt it away. And Onofrio will get it off.
Ooh, nice kick.
Not a bad kick. Fair catch. 17-yard line. 83 yards to go for a tie. 1:49 to go in the ball game. The Tigers in front of Notre Dame of Fairfield by a score of 12-6.
White. He's out wide to the right.
Nikolai split wide to the left, racing wide to the right. Pump fake, pressure, slips in a lot of open field. And Guzio up to make the tackle at the 19. A late flag on the play. And Guzio has made some key stops on a reserve roll tonight for the Tigers.
Quarterback should have tried to get out of bounds, but the penalty, I think, is going to be against hand.
The way the hand players are reacting,
Yeah.
it's going to go against the Tigers.
Did you see the signal? I didn't.
May have been possibly a face mask.
Referee indicates personal foul against
Ooh, it's a
hand.
biggie. 15 yards.
The 15-yard will move it up to the 35.
That does two things for Notre Dame. It stops the clock and it gives them a first down.
35-yard line.
And we didn't see a signal.
I didn't
As
either.
to what the penalty was.
Had to have been a face mask. It wasn't a late hit.
Lane switch between Notre Dame from their own 35-yard
Shotgun,
line.
Kromenhoek looking out into the flat to Holmes. He has him. And Millard, he stopped after a pickup of about 2 yards.
is complete.
Ball traveled about 10 yards and he picked up about 2 yards.
And that was a key play, though, because Holmes has got the blazing speed like Gracie.
Nice defensive play.
The clock is winding down. The time they get the play off will be just about at 1 minute. Kromenhoek evades a tackler, still on his feet. Cradles the ball, taken down by Chris Pignataro at the 43-yard line. And it'll bring up a 3rd down and 2. 53 seconds on the clock. And the Tigers looking to hold on here. They lead 12-6.
I've counted 2 timeouts used by Notre Dame. I don't know if they used any more than that.
Should mention too, Steve, Scott Duncanson really has been doing an outstanding job over the last few weeks, motivating the players. I mean, at both practice on the sideline, see him running out to the huddles between the break. That's really what you like to see out of one of your captains. Number 84, Scott Duncanson. Hope to see action in the second half of this 86 season.
He was hurt last year too, wasn't he?
I believe Scott had a on the spot, maybe a wrist.
I think he was. I think he was.
For a few games last year. He's been catching the ball for the Tigers since he was a freshman.
With a 30-6 and Notre Dame from their own 44-yard line.
We haven't seen Notre Dame try to get the ball to Bracy other than that one play down near the 20-yard line earlier in this half.
Tigers have made a few substitutions defensively.
Yeah, but they've been single covering him.
Hevesy is in. McIntyre is out. Wilbler is in. He will move up to the rover as Hevesy goes back to the safety. And they're way deep.
Big play.
And it was Cooper from the right defensive end making the key play on Kromenhoek. And that a big play, Steve, also because they needed only 2 yards for the first down and a chance for 4 more plays. Now, instead of a 4th and 2, it's a 4th and 6. And the game on the line here for the Lancers.
Give a kudo to Chris Pignataro on that play too. He was in on the sack. Very big play.
Well, as far as the passing game goes, the only thing that really has worked is the Kromenhoek to Gracie. And I would think that would be the man to look for right now on 4th and 6. 47 to go. They're in the ball.
He's been looking for him, but he's been looking often very quickly. He's taken one look out to the right where Gracie has been. And then looking back to the left, and by that time he's usually had a couple of hand linemen breathing down his neck.
We'll have to watch the backers here for the Tigers and see if they send anybody, or whether they'll just rush the 4 linemen.
I think they should send a linebacker. Kromenhoek is not the fastest quarterback we've seen. And the more pressure you can put on a guy like that, the more success you're going to have.
It's Pignataro and Green are the tackles. Cooper and Vince, the ends. Out of the pro set. They dump it off to Holmes and a key play. From the left defensive end behind Vince. And that will be the ball game. 34 seconds to go. Tigers take over. They have the lead 12-6.
I don't really understand that play at all. He needed 6 yards. There's no way that play could have gone for any more than 3 or 4.
I believe that was a lateral. Some something that Denver tried against Pittsburgh.
I don't think that was a lateral.
That ball was thrown behind the quarterback.
That was close.
And I believe Holmes was in turn going to throw the ball.
It's a hell of a time to bring that play out of the book.
Coach Sabonis said he had been too conservative earlier, and perhaps he figured he'd pull it out of the old bag.
Went from one extreme to the other on that play.
Being a wide receiver coach, I'm sure he's worked on that type of a play.
Yeah.
And speaking of the Denver-Pittsburgh game, Denver did get robbed on that play.
Oh, yeah. It was nice that the NFL admitted that, though.
I wonder how long the instant replay will last.
I think it's good that they have it. They just have to iron out a few wrinkles. How is he just going to sit on the ball here on the clock out?
007 on the clock. Hevesy comes back, smartly runs the time off the clock. Down to 2 seconds. One and ball game. Lancers look extremely good, but the Tigers managed to hold on here in Strong Field and win it 12-6. And Dave Green down and injured on the field on the last play of the ball game. And now turn over to my playing partner, Steve Jones. Recap.
Well, as far as a recap, we can blow off the entire first half as there was no scoring, although Notre Dame had a very good chance about midway through the first quarter. They took the ball on a nice drive all the way down to first and goal at the hand 4-yard line. A couple of running plays got it down to the 1. Another running play got it down to the half-yard line. On fourth and goal from about a half a yard, they made it to within a 1-inch line, but came up short. And that was about it for scoring chances in the first half. Second half, after a severe tongue lashing in the locker room by some of the hand coaches, the hand offensive line really came alive, turned on the running game, and Kelly ran in a touchdown from 1 yard out at 4:20 of the third quarter. A 9-play drive by Hand going 42 yards, helped by 3 Notre Dame penalties. Kick was no good. Hand led 6-0. Next drive, next time Hand got the ball, it was Kelly again, this time from 6 over the right side. And I noticed most of the big plays tonight were to the right side behind Kelly. Not Kelly, Hughes. As you mentioned earlier, Hughes is one of the top players in the state this year in his position. Kelly ran behind him at 12-10 of the third period. The 2-point conversion was no good, and Hand was up 12-0. Fourth quarter, all of a sudden, after doing really nothing in the entire second half, Notre Dame went on a nice drive, 4 plays right down the field, and it was DeLisa on a 2-yard run on 4th down at 7:27, making it 12-6. The point was no good, and after then, Hand was able to run off some time. Notre Dame did get the ball back for one final series, but didn't get past midfield. And that was it.
So the Tigers have won it here, and they now move their record up to 2-0 on the season. Notre Dame and Fairfield, who can hang their heads high, played an outstanding game. They dropped to 0-2 after losing their opener 28-8 to Derby. Next week, it's a Saturday afternoon game
at Stratford.
The Tigers against Stratford, who Larry Ciotti put up there as one of the top teams in the Coastal Conference this year. So a big game coming up next week. The Tigers will be looking to extend it to 3-0. Expect to see Leckie, I would believe, at least for part of the game against Stratford. And Zaneski appears to be healthy for the most part once again, although he did not handle the punting chores tonight. He did have a thigh injury, and I would think that might still bother his punting. But as far as returning kicks and punts, did an outstanding job defensively. Very impressed with some of the subs tonight. Dave Guzio got a lot of play in the second half with some outstanding plays. Also, Matt Cooper getting a start at defensive end made a lot of nice stops, and the key stop defensively by Todd Vince on the 4th down and 6 when the Lancers had their last chance of the ball game. Offensively in the second half, what can you say? Kelly.
Yeah, Kelly was it. The passing game, although it really didn't have to do much tonight, I think needs some work. The loss of Duncanson is really hurting them, obviously, and it may take a game where they fall behind by a couple of touchdowns to really bring that passing game to life. Tonight they really didn't need it, but they're going to need it sooner or later when they Stratford, and in the weeks after that they have Middletown coming up, Xavier coming up. They may need to throw the ball a little more than they're used to so far.
Well, that'll do it here from the Surf Club. I
never sang.
Oh, geez, and I didn't do any transmission, reproduction, or other use of this game.
Right, so we just won't do that.
Okay. Well, that'll do it here as Steve and I head to the Woodlawn for dinner. The final score, the Hand Tigers 12 and the Lancers of Notre Dame 6. And once again, I'd like to thank Madison Community Television broadcasting this game and our sponsors, First Federal Savings and Loan of Madison, and also the Madison Football Boosters. From Strong Field, once again, good night. The final score, Hand 12, Notre Dame 6.